Hello, everyone. It's Gus, and wait a minute, what was that? Oh no, it's Askewed Reviews. That's right, and today I'm reviewing a film that just recently came to streaming. I'm referring to the 2026 film Thrash, directed and co-written by Tommy Wirkola. If you haven't heard of it, this is the new shark movie that just recently came to Netflix. So let me tell you more about the concept to see if this is one that you want to check out for yourselves. So the film takes place right off the coast of South Carolina, and it starts with a very interesting yet very familiar beginning, as there is apparently a Category 5 hurricane headed for shore. And we start to follow some random characters dealing with this situation and how in the world they're going to get out of there. But as the floods come in and people get trapped, they're now also having to deal with sharks. The story, for the most part, gets pulled in four different directions, with some of them overlapping. One of those is a character named Dakota, who has been dealing with agoraphobia and has pretty much refused to leave her house since her mother's passing. Then we have Lisa. Lisa is pregnant and very far along, but because her job kind of sucks, and they even knew a storm was coming, they still had to have everyone come in for a meeting, and now she's finding difficulty in actually getting out of town. Next up, we have three kids, Ron, Dee, and Will, that are siblings but are also foster children. Now, their foster family that brought them in, unfortunately, are dicks and terrible people, and they've decided that, oh, this is just a storm that'll blow over, we're going to stay here no matter what. Finally, we have Dr. Dale Edwards, played by Jaimin Hansu, who is probably the most recognizable actor in the movie. Now, Dr. Edwards is not just an expert on sharks, he also happens to be Dakota's uncle and is going to try and show up and hopefully get her out of there. There are also some newscasters and a few other characters that we meet, but the ones I previously described are really the main characters. All of these characters, by the way, will have to be smart and clever, because the challenges that they face are not only the town being flooded, but these bull sharks and a great white have been summoned essentially due to the fact that a meat truck burst open and leaked all of the stuff within it into the water. So, will anyone make it out of this town alive? I am a huge fan, by the way, of shark movies and especially animal attack movies in general, but I also really enjoy natural disaster films. So, with this movie dealing with a hurricane and sharks, I was excited. However, though, it did seem like it was leaning very heavily on the concept that was used in the movie Crawl, which is one of my favorite animal attack movies of all time, but that did worry me a little bit. This film also did feel like it was taking that concept and mixing in a little bit of the movie Bait, which is another one I did enjoy. I didn't feel like Thrash really lived up to either one, but I did still find it enjoyable. Now, I don't think that it was a terrible film. It was really well done in the sense that the effects, whatever kind of soundstage or kind of pool that they created for this, because I'm assuming obviously this wasn't really done during a flood, but it looked real enough. And the sharks looked good. The characters were believable. I feel like we didn't get to know them well enough and probably could have spent a little bit more time really getting connected to them, because I really didn't feel like I cared too much about each person surviving, just because there wasn't that thread there that ooh, I like that person the most and I don't want anything to happen to them. There were some slight feelings in that direction, but nothing that really pulled me in. I will say, though, it wasn't for a lack of trying. I mean, you have a character with agoraphobia, one that's dealing with a very late pregnancy, and foster children. So there was a lot there. I just felt like it could have been fleshed out more. Now, here comes my biggest issue, though, with this film. There were so many, and I mean way too many situations where what the characters were doing would have absolutely caused their death. Like, there's no possible way that some of these people should have survived. These situations were ridiculous, and some of the rules weren't being followed. When they would say something about what causes these sharks to be affected, or what causes them to attack. And then they would do these things and yet they wouldn't get attacked because, oh no, they've got plot armor. That really did bother me. There is also a moment though I do want to mention because it made me laugh so hard, and it's a really good moment in my opinion. I hope I'm getting this statement or quote correct here, but it's "Stay here, mama has to kill a shark." So when it comes to my ranking for this film, even though there are so many implausible moments and some character issues, I do still find it entertaining and I recommend checking it out. In fact, if they end up making a sequel, I will definitely watch that. But for me on my scale, I'm going to give this 2 floating, vibrating plastic bags out of 5. If you've already seen Thrash, let me know what you thought about it in the comments, and of course, what you would have ranked it. For today's question, by the way, I want you to be really honest with yourselves. If you've seen this movie, what do you think the likelihood of you surviving it would be? I hope you enjoyed my review. And if you'd like to watch more Askewed reviews, make sure to like this video, and of course, whatever platform you're on, subscribe or follow.